The additional tab of the business settings page is where you set terminology, checklists, and other less common options. You may have a different term you use for pet sitters, and you can enter that here. The same thing for visits. You may call them bookings or something else, as well as time blocks. Maybe you want to call them time windows. You can change all of those terms here. The client checklists appear on the profiles when you're adding clients or when they're updating their own profiles. Leave these blank to keep the default checklists. Clients have 3 different checklists in their profiles. You can rename them using the client fields, and here you can change what is on those checklists. Pets only have a single checklist. You can do the same thing with that here. If you want to use more than just the office and box key locations that the portal shows by default, you can enter them here. You may have 1 or more physical locations where keys are kept, and this would be where to enter them. If you do not use tips or gratuity, you can turn that off completely here. By default, the system will invoice all visits regardless of price. By setting invoice line items for $0 to off, you can have the system ignore those visits when it comes to invoicing. If you use specific times, clients will only see those specific times if you turn the setting on here. Regardless of this setting, clients can never actually request specific times other than if they type it into the notes. The Schedule Ongoing Visits page gives you a list of all of your ongoing visits in one place. You can turn that on or off here. You may want to limit what pet sitters can see in terms of contact information, client phones and client emails, and communication from other sitters. You can turn those off here. If you want to block clients from requesting every other day visits, you can do that here. Just note that this does not prevent them from requesting visits individually that happen to be every other day. You can also prevent clients from requesting ongoing visits. By turning this on, only management can add ongoing visits. You may want to prevent what your managers can do. You can prevent them from deleting visits in clients, prevent them from adding visits for clients with no card on file, if you require cards, and prevent them from exporting client profiles. If you have the On the Way button turned on, which happens if you turn on the notifications in your communication options for clients, sitters will have an On the Way button on their schedule to let clients know that they are headed to their house. You can change how those notices are worded here. You may want to allow pet sitters to send messages to each other within the system, and that is done here. By default, they can only message management. For companies that take on all visits that are requested, regardless of when they are or how many there are, you can have the system essentially accept all visits by confirming those visits to the clients even after they've only just been requested. These confirmation emails are sent out once per day at your daily processing time. They would not be sent out immediately. If you're not sure about this setting, we recommend keeping this off. By default, when profiles are updated, it sends to the primary and secondary pet sitters, as well as any upcoming pet sitters. You could turn that off here. Clients' alternate email addresses are purely informational and not used for anything unless you turn it on here to carbon copy their journal emails to their alternate email address. Note that in the system, when you're setting email addresses, you can usually add more than one if you separate them with commas or semicolons.